Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Sunday, June the 7th. The year's 2020. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly open and gap. But as you all know, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Trading is extremely risky. You can lose all of your money. If you need trading, investment, or financial advice, seek the advice of an accredited financial professional. And remember, traders, when you put a trade on, make sure you have your risk management in place so you don't lose any more than you're willing to lose on any one particular trade. Also, make sure you have your money management in place. So when the market gives you pips, you take them before the market takes them back. And finally, make sure you have your brain management in place. No FOLO, no FOMO, no ROMO, no ROGO, and no ROBS. Because anytime you're in a trade and you're feeling some kind of pain, internal anguish, stress, that's not the market doing it to you. That's you doing it to yourself, because that pain comes from your reaction to the market. So, weekly, open, and gap. As you can see, we still have some gaps that haven't filled, the pound dollar being one. Now, let me just go back here to the screen. I'd like to welcome a lot of the new subscribers and people that have dropped in, traders that have dropped into my channel and Facebook group. But let me just clue you guys into a few things. One, I don't sell indicators. So I'm not set up to handle 24/7 customer service or anything like that. In fact, I was telling one trader, I was talking to him on the phone, and I said, my whole goal was never to sell indicators. My whole goal was to put all the people who sell indicators out of business. That's what I was trying to do by putting all that free code out there. And if you watch my other two videos from today so far, I have dipped my toes into the MT5 waters because my good friend Airball is trading now, and he's trading, I guess, some minis. But on the trading platform he has, it's only MT5. The broker doesn't give him MT4. And he really wanted some of my code. So since he's such a good buddy, I went ahead and started converting over a few indicators. But no, I'm not forsaking MT4 for MT5. I am not happy about it. But anyway, so if you need something, if you're looking for code, I posted the rat zone in the file section of my Facebook group. You can always go to cresslick.com. If you come down here, look in the comments. I always put the links to where I post my code and where you can connect with me. But if you're asking questions, put them on the forum, because if you send them to me in an email, then only you get the benefit. But if you put the question out there on the group somewhere, or you put it out there on the forum, then other people can read the question and answer, and they can benefit from it. So I'm asking you. It's not that I'm not saying that you can't email me, because of course you can. But I'm just asking you for questions, trading questions, coding questions, anything like that. Just put it out on the group, because maybe somebody else will have my answer before I get around to answering. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, definitely subscribe to the channel here and click on like and share the video in as many forums as you possibly can. And then, post charts that show my indicators, because they all have the little skull here, the little gray skull that strikes fear in traders on other forums. It's pretty funny. And the MT5, I use a little orange skull, so you can tell if it's MT4, MT5 code. And if you do send a donation, make sure you specify MT4 or or MT5 now, since I am, like I said, kind of dipping my toes in that water. Okay, back to the weekly. Like I said, we still have some gaps that haven't filled. Daily, you can see the pound has just been going up about 7 days in a row. We've got green candles, trying to get back to that yearly open here. And we're putting in the first trading day of the week here, so that opening range, you see we blew out of the one for the month. We're 199 pips above that high from the first day of the month. We're outside that inside bar. In fact, as you can see here, there's not too many inside bar trades to be had. The range, okay, we're only 5.5 hours into the trading day, so there's not much range. Even though the pound has put in a respectable 61 pips, I was too busy coding to take advantage of some of those breakout trades that I'll show you in a little bit. As far as the buy zone, you can see here, we had the pivot here, so all the signals were really short, so we didn't have any bias. We had a short bias, but we gapped up, so that would give us a short bias. But as you can see, the pound took off, and now it's leveling off right around the 127 spot. As far as the rat zone, you can see here we put in the high. We've got a range of 60, so the range is large enough, and there's already been some nibbling for the red rats here. Once again, we missed a pivot point. We've got a weekly pivot, though, of 125.73, so look for price to possibly take out that weekly pivot. You can see on the daily, we've missed 2 pivots in a row so far. We missed a pivot back on 6/2, June the 2nd. And as far as the weekly, we missed last week's, and this week we haven't. It's just starting out, so don't know if we're going to take out those pivots or not. We'll just have to wait and see. But statistically, you can see taking out pivots happens a lot more than not. Oh, and for the new traders, in case you're wondering, these programs, with the exception of the TRO 2016, but the mid dots, the miss pivots plots, they're all in the TRO build 1200 file. Also, maybe in the old TRO build 1000 file, the zip files that I've sent out, and I've also posted on Crestlick, so you can download those for free, and then you can start running those statistics if you like to trade pivots. The wick zone, you can see we're in the upper wick zone, and we haven't left it yet. But as we know, price likes to leave the wick zone. Simple price action screen here. Once again, just candle color at the line. So you see green at the line, green at the line, red at the line, green at the line, red at the line. And you have to trade the first line the candle encounters. So here, this was the first line. You really wouldn't want to go long here because you've already given up 10 pips. So if you want to trade simple price action, learning how to trade, this is a great way to start. A lot of people saying, please mentor me, please show me the way. Well, that's what these videos hopefully do. For some, it's working. Some of you guys are having struggles. But if you do, then put a comment on the video, or put a comment out on the Facebook group or over on the forum, and ask your questions there. And like I said, maybe I can help you, or maybe somebody else can explain the same thing I'm explaining, but in a slightly different manner, and maybe you understand it that way. Or maybe they might put their own little twist on it, and maybe that'll work for you too. You know, nobody has the monopoly over trading systems. There's just too many traders out there, and some of them are profitable. So if you don't like this method of just trading at these simple horizontal lines, and let me show you, it's just a sweet spot, it's gold that I modified, and I even put the Walmart lines modification in there. If you don't like that, then maybe You might prefer the simple H1 breakout. All you're looking to do is take the trade at the high or the low of the previous H1 candle. Why H1? Well, it's because H1 has a pretty nice range. You can see here the current candle has a range of 18 pips. That's 34 percentile, meaning out of the last 100 hours, only 34 hours are below 18. So that's what these percentages mean. So right here on the daily, 61 pip range so far, only 6% of the daily ranges, high minus low over the last 100 days, are below 61 pips. So what's that tell you? What it tells me is chances are price is going to expand. You see you had a 70 here, and that was at the 13 percentile, but the day before that. So I'm showing the current and then the previous 4. Why do I only show 5? There's only so much screen space. That's one of the reasons. And that's pretty much all I need to gauge what's going on. And for the breakouts, see high minus previous high. If it's negative, it didn't break out. But 3 hours ago, you had a 31 pip breakout. 4 hours ago, you had an 11 pip breakout. You could be done for the day. I know Walmart, if he would have picked up that 11 and the 31, he'd be done for the almost done for the week. Because I think he's going for 10 pips a day. So he could have 40 some pips in his pocket, 42 pips. He'd be pretty much done. He could take the week off. So, oh, and in case you're wondering about these indicators here, the smart ranges, these are donationals 2020, donationals. But you don't need them. It's just, they're very handy to have, especially once you learn how to use them. Well, actually, it's when I say use them, in other words, you learn how to interpret. When you really understand what these percentiles are and what they mean, then you really can put statistics on your side. So for example, with this H1 breakout trade, if you look, you can see some hours don't break out and some hours are better than others. In fact, I'll have to show another chart. I think I might have done that last week that shows which hours are the best ones to break out on. If not, if I didn't do that, somebody can, shoot me a message or something, say, hey, no, you need to do it. And I'll try and do that this week, where I can show you the statistics of which hours are the best hours to trade on the pound pair. But if you don't like the pound, then we have to do it on a different pair. I guess there's probably some euro traders out there, so we can just shift over here and you can see what's going on with the euro. So once again, see if you took out a previous breakout right there was one breakout good for 15 pips. On the low side, we had a breakout good for 4 and a breakout good for 12. And so you might only get one trade an hour, but that's more than enough. I mean, you can always switch back. If you look at an M1 chart, and it's kind of, you can see here, this is the, just so you know, this is the TROHL indicator, not HL5, just HL, because that actually has alerts and it'll make a siren go off or whatever sound you want if you have that wave file. And then it can also do the email alerts or the push alerts or the pop-up. So that's what I have it there for. So if I'm not in the room and all of a sudden I hear the siren go off, I can run back to the room and possibly get in that trade. So that's about it for right now. But please, if you have any questions, put them out in the social media. Don't send them to me unless it's something super, super personal, because we want to get the, have the, as many people participate in the Q&A as possible. So I'd like to thank everybody. Once again, welcome the new folks. Thank you all. And thank everybody for the kind words. And as you're trading this week, just remember one thing. It's not what you trade. It's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks.